Hey guys, welcome back to IO1. This is Steve here. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, smash that button now, hit the like button to help this channel out. Today we finally got our hands on the Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max to replace my aging iPhone 13 Pro Max. I've upgraded the storage from 256 gigabytes this time around up to 512 gigabytes. You might have seen lots of reviews, lots of unboxings on the internet already, but feel free to stick around while I share some of my thoughts on this phone. Now, let's dive deep into the specs first. The iPhone 17 lineup actually comes in 4 flavors this year. Comes in the regular, non-Pro, the Pro Max, and finally the iPhone Air. We won't really be discussing the other models other than the Pro Max just to keep this video short. Also, I'm going to be referencing my iPhone 13 Pro Max at times since that is the upgrade path that I took. Physically, the biggest changes to the Pro Max line is actually the camera system as well as the materials used. Now, with the camera plateau, which is the camera at the back, it sits much wider than before. Apple has also decided to revert back to an aluminum unibody, and that's very likely to be used to improve on heat dissipation along with the new vapor chamber that was introduced. Speaking of which, the vapor chamber is only present in the Pro and the Pro Max line, and which explains the full unibody design. The regular non-Pro model still contains an aluminum frame, but uses a glass back. And also the iPhone Air continues the tradition of using titanium. The display continues to be a 6.9-inch diagonally wide screen running at 460 pixels per inch, which is the same as last year's iPhone 16 Pro Max. However, it is bigger than the iPhone 13 Pro Max that I use, which was 6.7 inches diagonally. In terms of dimensions, it is sitting at a height of 6.3 inches, which is slightly taller than the 6.33 inches of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. The width remains the same at 3.07 inches. The thickness, however, is slightly thicker at 0.34 inches compared to the 0.3 inches of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Due to the aluminum body, it weighs 233 grams, which is slightly lighter than the 240 grams of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Internally, the major specs of the iPhone 17 Pro Max are as follows. The processor uses the latest A19 Pro chip, which has 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores. The integrated GPU has 6 awesome cores with a neural accelerator to help with future AI computations. The camera system has changed to a triple 48 megapixel camera, but otherwise, not much really has changed since the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, I know for enthusiasts, there are some nuances that probably will matter, but for the general consumer like me, I would probably expect better colors, better clarity resolution, and also the ability to take landscape photos while holding the phone in portrait mode. In video mode, you're able to take 4K at 120 frames per second, which is better than the iPhone 13 Pro Max, which took it, I believe, at 60 frames per second. Now, the battery is rated to be 39 hours of video playback, and in comparison, the iPhone 13 Pro Max was able to run at 28 hours of video playback. I think after the number of years that I've used since the iPhone 13 Pro came out, my battery dropped to about 79% of its official battery, and now I'm beginning to need to charge it maybe twice a day now. For the iPhone 17 Pro Max, it has a 50% charge in 20 minutes using their 40-watt adapter. Now, the operating system uses the iOS 26, the latest operating system, and surprisingly, still works quite well with the iPhone 13 Pro Max. In this version, it introduces the liquid glass, a term used to describe the semi-transparent aesthetics of the display or of the icons. Of course, it brings a whole slew of software changes on the back end as well, and while some features are great, I have noticed that over time, iOS's general setting menu has really gotten a little bit more complex with multiple sub-layers and sub-levels just to find the same thing as before. Now, I'm not really sure if that's really the best thing that Apple should take moving forward. Security-wise, there has been no change. the way you access your phone, it's still using Face ID. There's no ultrasonic fingerprint reader in sight either. Finally, connectivity. The iPhone 17 Pro Max also uses a 5G LTE system. It has Bluetooth 6.0, and also it has now completely moved to full eSIM, at least in the North American version. Now, maybe the biggest change for the user is actually the USB 3 speeds while connecting your phone to a PC or a computer to transfer files. Now, oh, sorry about that, guys, about the non-Pro and the Air users. You guys are still stuck at the USB 2 speeds. The Apple iPhone 17 Pro Max comes in 3 colors: Cosmic Orange, Deep Blue, and Silver. And the model that I just purchased is the iPhone 17 Pro Max 512GB version in Deep Blue, which cost a whooping and tear-jerking $2,049 Canadian before tax. All right, I'm excited to finally crack this open and take a look at it, and hopefully you will be too. This came directly from Apple, and let's take an unboxing tour. So in all of Apple's awesomeness, they continue to amaze me with their design for the boxes. I think this was designed by Apple. So there's a pull tab here, and you just open it, and that's it. We have our iPhone 17 Pro Max. It is huge, this box. Let's put this box over here. All right, so let's take a look at the box first. iPhone, a very simplistic design. The Apple logo on the top is actually deep blue. It matches the blue color, and I suspect that if you got the Cosmic Orange, it would also be Cosmic Orange. The font here is also deep blue as well. And on the back, we have Apple's iPhone 17 Pro Max. There is the model number here, and it also tells you about the what specs that you've got. So this is the 512 model. That's great. Okay, so let's open this up. And we have a pull tab right here. So I do want to be careful. Well, make sure you get both pull tabs. So second pull tab up here. All right, let's open it up. So I did try to be careful there because I was worried that the phone might get suctioned out and fall. So on the top, there's really nothing here. It's just some padding here or thick cardboard. Let's put that aside. And here we have our brand new phone. So it's a gorgeous deep blue color. That's as close as you will get to black. And let's pull it out. So this phone, sliding it off, I'm gonna put it here first. And in the box, you will get one single cable. This is I believe a USB-C to USB-C. Yes, it is right here, you can see. So we'll put that there. And in the box, what else do you get? You get something that says, you no longer need a physical SIM card. So I believe you need to transfer, if you're using a SIM card like me from iPhone 13 Pro Max, you do need to put them side by side or close to each other in proximity so that you can transfer the physical eSIM data to the eSIM data on this new phone. And that's really all there is. There is nothing else, not even a adapter or a power adapter. Okay, they've really went minimal in this design, this packaging. Let's take a look at the phone. So the gorgeous screen, I can't even fit on this here, but let's do this. Okay. Beautiful. So you must have seen this in stores. So again, we have the volume rocker buttons. Not really sure what this button is. I don't think it's the action button. So this is the action button on this side here. And then we have a power button right here. And then, like I mentioned before, this is your plateau with your 3 cameras set up and the flash. And right here, there's the cutout for where the MagSafe and the battery will be. So there is a vapor chamber on this one. Let's turn it on. Let's see if it turns on quickly. All right, so everything's on, up and running. I'm gonna be setting this up, and maybe I will make a second video on my thoughts about this, a deeper comparison between the iPhone 13 Pro Max and this one, and maybe some of the things that you should do when you first get your phone operated. All right, so I haven't figured out what this button is yet. It is the ringer. Hold for silent, that's what it says. So I guess this is the toggle switch for silent. And you can see here that that was the dynamic island, which opens up larger and smaller depending on how you use it. All right, so let's put the phone down. All right, guys, so thanks for watching. And this was a pretty quick video. I think it kind of went through some of the differences between the iPhone 13 and jumping over to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'm gonna get this all set up. I'm really excited to use this and be my new daily driver. I will see you next time, and stick around for some perspective views of the phone. I'll see you later, and stay tuned.